For my second novel analysis, I wanted to focus on two concepts specifically, duospecific and structure. And just a quick definition for duospecific, it's words or pictures that send the same message. And I thought that page 68 did a great job of like describing that concept. Here what's going on in the text bubbles is that Batman has this man hostage because he tried to kill some civilians but failed, but he's being interrogated because the weapon that he was using can only be obtained by military personnel. And the guy says basically like, I'll tell you, but can you please not get the cops involved? And that's when Batman says like, hey buddy, you're not in a place to negotiate right now. The guy says, well, like, I can't see. And like when he says you're not in a place to negotiate, he takes the blindfold off and the man sees that he's hanging off of like the tallest Gotham building. And when he says, let me show you, like it literally shows him like swiping the blindfold off, and you can see here Gotham, and the man knows how high he is. And I thought that was like a good illustration of duospecific. The second one that I came across that showed duospecific again was page 88, and here it is. So here Batman is basically like giving up in a way, and he's just saying like, I leave them behind me. And you can literally see Miss Lane in the back as he says that. And then he says like he's gonna go to the place where he basically knew what he was destined to be, and that is his cave, which shows here in the bigger panel where that place is. So I thought that was a great illustration of duospecific. And then moving on to structure. Structure is basically what to include, leave out, arrange, and compose. And the first page that I thought was a great example was page 113. And here it is. Okay, so, oh wait, no. Page 109. Okay, so here I thought the structure was very, very well organized. I would say that they would have that if it were me, I would leave this panel out just because it doesn't really correlate to this part of the page. And also I would say they would have to leave this out and then this part out, because this has more of, I guess, has more of the conversation, whereas this is just little segments. I guess this is what's happening in the background, but I would leave those two out. But I thought these were well composed. So basically what's going on there is the president is at a press conference and he's taking questions, and this is when the reporter asks like, do you have any comments about the Batman controversy? And the president basically doesn't want any part of it. So he's like, hey, I'm just like the president, I'm just gonna move this on to the governor of that state. And you can see that the governor wants no part of it whatsoever. So basically the governor says, hey, I gotta manage a whole state, like I'm gonna move this to the mayor of Gotham. That's when you see the mayor of Gotham's face. Like this, nobody wants part of this at all. So basically they're just throwing the topic onto the next person in line. That's when the mayor of Gotham says, well, I'm just gonna pass it on to the police commissioner. The police commissioner doesn't want any part of it, and so the police commissioner says, hey, like I'm being replaced anyways, so I'm just gonna pass it on to the new police commissioner that's in line, and that is what's her name? It was Ellen Yendel. And basically she has to say something because she has to get the people's approval. But I just thought that was well structured. Basically how it was piggyback writing on every single one until it got to that last person. And the last part of this was page 113, and I thought this was well structured because it shows how through each panel something is happening, and it's not like all over the place, and it doesn't include little like action scenes that don't belong in there. How in page 109 had like little action parts that didn't correlate with this message. So I thought that 113 had a whole page dedicated to that specific scene. So here we have her like throwing them against the wall. That's when the wall breaks or whatever, and she's shooting at this one, and it just shows how it backfired on her. But this one shows scene to scene, so it would also be, I forgot, but I just thought this was well structured, how it goes from panel to panel, showing each action and what it leads to. But yeah, I went over do a specific and how the words and phrases showed that same meaning or that same message, and then the structure of what was well organized, arranged, and what had to be left out.